my favorite memory is well, going to your house because we have that cool tree and all the toys.
All the toys.
Mhm.
What else do you want to say?
Happy birthday! I love you. That means love.
Say it again, honey.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Gigi.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
No, Gigi, not Jesus. Say happy birthday, Gigi. It's your great grandma. You say happy birthday, Gigi. You know great grandma. Say happy birthday, Gigi.
You have mommy. You have grandma too.
And my grandma, that's who you're saying happy birthday to. Say happy birthday, Gigi.
Happy birthday, Gigi.
Say I love you.
I love you.
Say bye.
Bye. Oh, hey Gigi. I like your backyard because it has a playground and a tree that sticks its tongue out sometimes. Yeah, I love you.
So I remember when I was new to the family, Liz brought me over to Grandma's house, and I didn't know what to expect. She told me there'd be a bunch of people, and honestly it was kind of a lot to handle, but Grandma made me feel right at home, and as I've gotten to know her more and more, then she's become, I think, a more and more important part of my family life. And so I thank you for welcoming me to the Purcell family, and I wanted to wish you a happy 80th birthday.
Hi Grandma, I just want to wish you a happy 80th birthday and share a happy memory with you. So I guess in general Christmas reminds me of you, especially nutcrackers, and you would decorate right after Thanksgiving, which I loved. Or sometimes on Thanksgiving we would have Christmas decorations, which was pretty cool and special. Also, used to babysit us and make us grilled cheese sandwiches, so I always think of you when I have a grilled cheese sandwich. But I love the way you made the grilled cheese because you would broil it and use Velveeta. So I think that's just a happy memory in childhood of grilled cheese sandwiches with my grandparents. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I love you so much. Emily, what's your favorite memory of Gigi?
I love when Gigi gives me kisses.
My favorite memory is like hard to describe because that's like asking an Italian to describe their favorite kind of cheese because there's so many. But I like whenever Tori was born and you made stir fry and it tasted so good that it's now my favorite dish of all time.
My favorite memory is in your living room. We'd only met about a handful of times. You were altering my wedding dress, and all of a sudden, before I knew it, you were up my skirt. We really got to know each other quickly that day, and I just want to thank you for all you do for my kids. You're a wonderful grandmother and great-grandmother. Happy birthday.
Hi, Mom. I'm supposed to give one of my favorite memories of you, and the night when you were running around acting crazy, running after the little girls, it made me remember when we were little and that time that you put cold cream all over your face and you stuck a nylon stocking over it and you were scaring the heck out of me and Chrissy. I don't think Tommy was around. All over the place, and then every once in a while you'd make us lay down and take naps when we were little, and you'd be creeping up. We could hear the floor creaking because we knew you were coming to scare the heck out of us. But I mean, there's lots of other memories, but they're the ones that make me laugh the most when I think about how crazy you looked running around doing that. So, happy birthday.
Mother-in-law. Let's see, one of my memories, I wouldn't say it's a favorite, it should be a favorite of yours, is when I first met you and your daughter introduced me, and I was such a jerk. I'm like, this can't be your mother, you know, being just a typical young jerk. And I'll never forget the look you gave me, like, who is this guy? I'm never gonna like him. But hopefully I changed your mind. Happy birthday.
Okay, so my favorite memory of you, Grandma, is whenever I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and I didn't know what a bra was, but you removed your bra from underneath your sweater right in front of me, and that was the first time I'd ever seen a bra. So, happy birthday.
Hey there! Grandchild number 2, grandson number 1 here, Jason. My favorite memory of my grandmother would probably be the time that I was sleeping over at her old house, and I remember in the middle of the night she was trying to scare me. So she was walking down the dark hallway making these monster noises, like that, and then I heard some loud crash and my bedroom door opened, and there was my grandmother holding a photo frame that had fallen on top of her. We laughed and laughed about that one. That was a good one. And that's what I think about when I... Oh, hi, Sarah.
Oh, hello. Well, I think about you, Betty, every time I remember our wedding.
Ah, what a day. Love you, Grandma. And, Sarah, are you wearing that to dinner? Oh, all right, see you later.
Hey, how you doing, everyone? Oh, hey, sorry. Granny, it's favorite grandkids. Here we are. Just want to let you know that my favorite memory with you is when I tried to throw the sledgehammer over your head. Sorry about that, by the way. I didn't mean to hit you. I just thought I could clear it, and I did. So, there you go.
My favorite memory is after my dance recital, when you had a little too much wine to drink, and we didn't want you to go home.
That never happens. Not too often, at least.
So we hid your keys, and then you tackled my mom, took your keys, and ran out the door, and we made Lost Granny signs and hung them all over the house.
Lost Granny. Right. I'd say my favorite is when we were sled riding in the front yard and you got a little too much speed, lost control, and hit a sign. I'm glad you're okay and you're still with us. That's great. And Merry Christmas. Great stories, everyone. Let's hit a dab before we head out. There we go. Love you, Granny. Love you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So my story is not a happy one, but is a great lesson learned. When we were at Mercy Hospital and trying to figure out what was wrong with my dad, and he couldn't talk and was having trouble communicating all the other ways, one of the doctors came in and told us it wasn't their job to tell us what was wrong with him, and that maybe some social worker might come along. And Betty, who happened to be there, whose little turkey timer had popped just like all the rest of us in the room, grabbed that doctor by the scruff of his neck, dragged him out into the hall, and sounded like might have been actually killing him. But we knew he was still alive. And after he came in crying, explained that he was sorry. And that got us all the information we needed. Lesson learned, kids. Don't always take no for an answer.
Okay, so I've been asked for my favorite recollection of Aunt Betty, and it has to be, I think, for no particular reason, we were over there as I was a little boy. I was probably about, 8, 9 years old maybe, and we'd gone over to their house, Aunt Betty and Uncle Tom's, for New Year's Eve. And it had just come up to 12 o'clock, and the kids were all running into the kitchen and grabbing pots and pans and running outside and banging them. And I thought, boy, they're going to get in trouble for this. And I eventually was able to get outside to find out, if they were going to get in trouble or not. And Aunt Betty was the one leading the charge. She was the one banging the pots loudest of all and helped me to find a pot and a pan that I could bang together to join in the fun. That's kind of Aunt Betty's special gift, is she's always the one leading the fun. And wish her many, many more years of doing exactly that. Happy birthday. We'll talk to you soon.
Hi, Grandma. Happy birthday. And my favorite memory of us is always when I snuggle on the couch with you, watch HGTV and get back scratches and soda and stuff. Yeah, I love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandma. And my My favorite memory was when you always used to tell us stories when we were snuggling in bed. And yeah, I love you, Grandma, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandma. My favorite memory with you was when we went to the skate park where your parents didn't watch you and I would just ride around. I love you and happy birthday.
My favorite memory of Gigi is when Kaylee and Maddie tried to make her do a handstand and her arms flopped up.
My favorite memory of Gigi is when she was drinking at a party and wouldn't stop and she was dancing with Kaylee.
My favorite memory of Gigi is when we were little and we were driving back to her house and it was the old K car, the big station wagon. She had all the seats down and we were all sitting in the back until she screamed, "Get down, there's the popo!" And we all like dove down and were laughing our heads off and we couldn't lift our heads up because she kept screaming the police were there. Thorin, what's your favorite memory?
My favorite.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
My favorite memory was when she's drinking and Mom told me to tell her no more wine next time she came up to me.
My favorite memory is pretty much every time she drinks.
Love you, Gigi.
Bye.
Love you.
Hi, Mom. Happy 80th birthday. My memory of you is... Wait, start over. So mean, Cassie. She's making fun of us. Start over. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Betty.
We would like to say happy birthday. Teddy says happy birthday, too. And my memory of you is like when you used to come to my school when I was a little girl and you were the lunch lady. You were the prettiest lady there and all my friends would tell me how beautiful you were and I was so proud of that, you and my mother. And that's just one of my many memories. I have many more, but we don't have enough time. And Teddy would like to say, thank you, Grandma, for babysitting me when Mommy and Daddy goes on vacation to Elizabeth's house.
And I wanted to say thank you for telling Christine that it's okay to go out with me because she didn't want to. But look at this. 38 years later, we want to say happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hi, Grandma. Happy 80th birthday. Some of my favorite memories include long ago when you would let me play with your makeup and give you makeovers with your hair and your makeup with my friend Lindsay, who you always called Leslie. Making chicken for Kennywood and giving me your recipe. And all of our sleepovers and mall trips. I love all of these memories and I will hold them close to my heart and I wish you a very happy birthday.
Okay, here we go. So we have to share some memories of my mother, my crazy, nutty mother. Oh my gosh, where do I begin? Whistling. The one thing that stands out about my mom is she loves to whistle, and I am also a whistler as a result of this. When I was a little kid, I remember when she would clean dishes, she would put the old stereo console on in the hallway, which is a big piece of furniture. Every family had one back in that era, the old stereo console, and she would put on Sinatra. She would play the old people music that we all hated as kids, but my mother would whistle. And I remember one day when I was little, I might have been 5 years old. My mother was pregnant again, probably with Mary. I think that would be about right. And I was in my wheelbarrow in the backyard. My mom was hanging the laundry and just whistling. It was a beautiful sunny spring day. And my mother was just whistling to Sinatra, of course. And now, as an old person myself, when I drive my car, I listen to satellite radio and I listen to the Sinatra channel pretty much all the time. Then there was the infamous green bag. My sisters will all tell you about that. We were warned to keep our stuff off the floor, pick it up, put it in the proper place, and if we did not, after one warning, maybe two, you wouldn't see it again for weeks. And it didn't matter if it was your shoes and you needed one of them to go to school in the morning. You weren't going to get it until you get it out of the green bag because it was collected. Probably the worst thing my mother ever learned was how to turn off the main water valve in the basement. So if you remember back in the 70s, my sisters all had long hair like Farrah Fawcett. It was the shag haircut. And it took hours in the bathroom to wash the hair, condition it and all that. And
you were warned you only had this much time in the shower, and if you exceeded that time, you were at risk of having the shower shut off. And pretty much every day it was shut off 3 times. You'd hear somebody in this shower screaming, you know, "Turn the water on! I got shampoo in my eyes!" And my mother didn't care. I think she kind of enjoyed it. She was kind of sadistic about that, my mother. She was sadistic about the water. She also learned how to work the fuse box. This is before solid state circuit breakers and all that. Fuse boxes were not designed for the hair dryers that my sisters had to use to blow their hair, Farrah Fawcett hair, for several minutes in the bathroom. We blew about 4 fuses a day. And every day my dad would come home from work and we'd be sitting around the dinner table and we'd, "Oh, so what's going on here?" And my mother would warn us, "Do not tell your father about the 4 fuses that we blew today." Every single day this happened. And my baby sister Jennifer, she would always go, "Hey Daddy, we blew 4 fuses today." "Jesus Christ, Betty, we're gonna burn the house down." That happened pretty much every day. Then, in an era, and now when I was a teenager, my mother was very embarrassing to us, as our parents are, but my mother was especially embarrassing because my mother was a clown. No, my mother was a clown. She was Clown Clara. The other mothers were like nurses and teachers and doctors and stay-at-home moms. My mother was a clown. She used to dress up like Big Bird too. We always enjoyed that. That was a good one. And she did children's parties. So at the time, this was about 77 maybe. There was a spate of robberies going on in the local community. A man dressed up as a clown was hitting these banks and getting away, and then taking his makeup off, and nobody could recognize him. My mother was late for an event, a kids' party in Peters Township, so she put the pedal to the metal, and she's flying down Route 19. And all of a sudden, there's a cop in hot pursuit with his sirens on, pulls her over right in front of the house that she's going to have the party, guns out of the car, hands on the roof. You know, my mother responded to that. She laughed her head off. She thought it was the funniest thing. She never got hired back to do a party at that house, though. Oh, and the main thing about my mother, you'll notice today, you've noticed it every time, especially if you go over in the morning on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve. My mother's probably the happiest person around the holidays of anybody you'd ever want to meet in the world. She made such a mystery for us growing up, you know, leading up to the big event. She made it so much more eventful as kids, and she loved it, and she still loves it. And I went over this morning, and guess what my mother's doing? She's doing Christmas stuff, and she's whistling Christmas tunes. Merry Christmas.
Happy birthday, Mom. Happy 20 times 4.
Happy birthday, Grandma. It's your 5th favorite son-in-law. I want to remember a couple funny things that you've done in my lifetime. First of all, I want to thank you for taking on that job that nobody wanted when Bob pulled his back and you rubbed his lower back and upper butt. That was a bullet that nobody wanted. Thank you. I also want to thank you for fighting with that nurse about your daughter's nipples. They are not inverted. Somebody needed to say it. Thank you. And finally, I'd like to thank you for jumping out of the closet and underneath the crib when my kids were little and scaring the bejesus out of me. Those are my favorite memories.
But seriously, happy birthday. We can't believe you're 80. I can't believe you're that old already. You don't look a day over 70.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
My favorite memory of you is when I was in 7th grade and Greg Hallam, my big crush, came over to visit, and you ran his bike over in your Clown Clara costume, and then you put it in drive and ran it again, and then reversed and ran it over a 3rd time. And I was so mortified, and Greg said, "Who was that?" And I said, "That's my crazy aunt that broke out of the mental institute." So happy birthday, Clown Clara.
My favorite story, happy birthday, is a pretty embarrassing one. When Jennifer, we had her first child, she was having some problems with the feeding mechanisms. And you had to come over and help her out a little bit, let's just say, to get her started.
You put cabbage on my jugs.
Cabbage on the jugs.
And I was sitting on the bed with cabbage on my jugs, and you were trying to get milk out of them. And Andrew was stunned.
But Aiden turned out a very nice boy. So thank you for all your help during all of our years trying to raise children. So we appreciate all your help over the years. And happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Just zoom in on Dot the entire time.
Happy birthday, Grandma.
Okay.
Ready?
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear Grandma.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday. Say happy birthday, Ryan. Say happy birthday. Where are you going? Hi, pal. Tell Grandma you're feeling all better. I feel better. Do you feel better? Yeah. Yeah. Where's Bubba?
I don't know.
Bubba. Oh, it's so cute. And then how do I flip it? I can't stand it. You don't.
Spin it.
Here, look at us.
Happy birthday,
Happy
mother-in-law.
birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday
Wide
to
angle. Wide angle. That's what they want.
Happy birthday, Mom.
You're getting cropped out.
Oh.
Sure, it's Christmas once more.